Welcome, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. Did you know you can take a piece of fabric and create all of these fun designs in Electric Quilt? I will be covering how in this video tutorial. Okay, I've opened Electric Quilt and I'm going to select New Project. And I'm going to start by naming it. And I'm going to call this one Fabric Artist Using Symmetry. And I will select OK. So the first thing I need to do is add a fabric collection to work with. And so I am going to select Search Fabric Swatches. And I always like to import the Fabric of the Month collections, and so they're in my EQ8 library. I'm going to double click on that and I'm going to select the May one, which has a collection from Art Gallery called Fiesta Fun, and I thought this would be a great one to work with. Once I've done that, I'm going to select all fabrics and I'm going to add to Sketchbook, and I can close my fabric library. Now I'm going to view my fabric sketchbook, and I'm going to go to the Fabrics tab, and I am going to scroll over to this collection, and I am going to take this particular one and I am going to copy that to Photos. Because if I want to do fabric manipulation, I need to do that in the Photos section of the program. And so now I can go to the Photos tab, and I'm going to select Fiesta Fun, and I'm going to select Edit to Image Worktable. And there we have our sample of fabric. And so I am going to select Special Effects. And under Special Effects, the item I want to work with is called Circular Symmetry. Now, when I click on that, there's a dialog box, and the first item on the dialog box asks me to select a petal style. And there are a number of different styles, but for this first one, I'm just going to go with the default because I love that shape. I think it's a fabulous shape. Now, watch what happens when I move that petal from that. And now I can change the number of pieces of the petal. So if I click on the second box, I could have 14, right? And so then it becomes a lot narrower piece. Or I could go as few as 3 and I get a really sort of wide, almost clunky piece if I do that. So let me go to 8 because I think that is always a nice number to work with. And let me pick a section. And once I have something I like I really like that one, I'm going to go ahead and click on the last box, which is to select a background color. And for this one, let's say I want to use a green as the background. I'm going to click over in the green, and you can see that number 1 there that says that that's where I'm at. And the actual swatch is shown down below. Now, if I want a darker green, I need to move it from the light to the dark. And if I decide I want more blue, I'm going to click over, right? And so I can change 2 factors. I can change saturation, which is really adding gray, and I can change lightness. And once I find something I like, I can add it to the sketchbook. Now let me do something else with this same shape. I can click on the shape to increase the functionality. If I do 1 click, I can then resize the shape by dragging one of the corners. I can also rotate the fabric, and by doing that I'm just going to click on the center just with 1 more click, And now notice that if I'm in the corner, there's the little rotation button, and I can use that to drag. So see what happens when I just rotate this slightly. And again, I can add that to the project sketchbook, or let's go ahead and maybe swap out and put an orange in the background for this one. And I'm going to add this one to the sketchbook as well. So my third option, which is move, if I just click on it a third time, I can just change the location. So let me go ahead and select a different style. How about the Dresden plate? And let me, I can look at this. But what if I again click on this 2 times to rotate it and had it come together like this? And I could play with this all day. And so I will add this to the sketchbook as well. So here are just a few of the options for playing with fabric symmetry. Thanks so much for watching. To see some other awesome things you can do with EQ8, check out my classes at www.onpointquilter.com. And while you're there, subscribe to my weekly newsletter.